Hello and welcome to This is War40k. I'm your host Simon, and tonight's stream we've got our great friends from the Nameless Guild back for another Guild Conclave. This week is a special because we have the original founding members of the Guild. So for those of you who know that it's a collective, a community, these are the original three. I can't introduce them with any justice, so I'm going to get in the face of the guild. Quite frankly, one of the best 40k hosts on the internet at the moment. That will inflate his ego, but he deserves it. They call him the Eternal Viceroy. I call him Louis. Please welcome the Nameless Guild.
Right,
Hey,
can
Louis.
I just hello. I'll make it absolutely clear. I gave myself that title of Eternal Viceroy.
Right, okay.
So it's definitely on me. Sorry, apologies for that. But yeah, thank you very much for hosting this evening.
Always
First off, thank you very much for hosting, Simon. Second off, if that's even a say, I think I want to say to those who don't know what a conclave is, it's just us trying to sound really pretentious, basically meaning meeting or gathering or hangout. And so, yeah, and naturally I'm looking at myself, not at the camera. So apologies for that, guys. I'll be doing that throughout the stream. And so, yeah, it's also an opportunity because obviously I spend most of my time questioning other people, seeing how they're getting on with their hobbies, their experiences. It's also a nice opportunity to have a few questions thrown my way. So if anyone's got any questions for the, regarding the guild or me, it'd be wonderful to answer any, so long as they're not too invasive. But yes, this is a real beard. Okay, first off, this is real. This is a real beard. And then so enough about me. The other two guys, and sorry, this is Proximo. He's going to be keeping us company for the entire duration of the
Love the
episode. The guild, obviously, I'm going to pass it over to someone else shortly about how we set up and everything. But basically, we've got two other core founding fathers. I jokingly say, just we would have co-founding people, but it's actually just me and two other guys. So the co-founding fathers for the guild, again, wanted to sound pretentious. So I will introduce David, who is also known as the Duke or Duke Burek. He says it in an Italian accent, which sounds far better. And I think we've known each other for over 3 years now. He's a local to Reading, where I live, and so he's an absolutely fantastic chap. And then also, so shall we slide him in? And then
let's bring in the Duke.
Let's bring him in.
Hey, hi, David. Please introduce yourself, mate.
Hi, I'm Davide Bellucco. I'm actually from Italy, and online I'm on the Duke Baruch from the Kitbash Klinik. This is actually the Duke himself, an orc mechanic, and yeah, proud to be one of the founding members of the guild.
Well, thank you for joining us, mate. And who else we got, Louis?
So our youngest member of the guild, in all things, in age, mental capacity, and I'm joking. I will just say, and the most handsome founding member of the guild is the young George, who no matter how old he gets, he'll always be addressed as the young George. But no, I'll let him introduce himself. Don't be overwhelmed by his beauty. He's just a man, boy. Let's be honest.
Well, I'm gonna have to do better than that, Louis, because I've been waiting to get George on the channel for a long time, and I know he's been on obviously the guild. He's a founding member. Let's try a little bit. This is Ragnar the Tzeetch Slayer. Go check him out on Instagram. Okay, we share a love for the Space Wolves, but actually anything the guy paints, he does it with a passion. So please welcome George, aka Ragnar the Tzeetch Slayer. Hey, George.
Hello, George.
Hello, George.
Oh, you're right. So yeah, my name's George. Yeah, I'm one of the founding fathers, as Louis says, obviously, and it's nice to be here. It feels really good.
Thanks, mate. Well, thank you for joining me. Obviously, we've been trying to get you on the channel for a long time. Lou and I have been trying to do this stream for well, I want to say months. I think it's only weeks, but it feels like a lifetime.
I think it's about 2 months by now, at least. It's before Christmas.
It was, yeah. So, and obviously, for those that do know, I am the Nameless Guild super fan, but I mean that as a community, as a whole selective thing. So, I finally got the 3 founding members on my channel. So, Take it away, please entertain us. But no, I'm joking. I'm not going to make you do that.
I just want to start with, did anyone get any Blue Peter vibes from George just then? It's just like, hi, my name's George. I'm 19 and I'm very privileged to be here. I'm enjoying myself. It's a great day. It's a great day. Thank you, George. Thanks for that, mate.
Yeah, Louis, sorry, you're gonna have to speak, not speak for Simon, but you're gonna have to. It's cutting out again. Sorry, it's just.
Oh, okay, that's okay.
No.
I will reiterate anything that Simon directs. That's fine, mate. Don't worry about that. We'll try and remedy that. But that's absolutely fine. He was actually saying some really horrendous things about you, George.
Yeah,
not true.
He was just saying some absolutely horrendous things.
Please watch this back later, George.
Yeah. For one thing, also, you can get rid of your drink, though, George. I mean, come on. Okay, if we're going to have product placement, we might as well get some proper money.
Yeah, I'd rather drink Pepsi Max than whatever that is. Right, so, gents, let's do a bit of a recap, because we didn't have all three of you last conclave, but now we've got you. So let's talk about the guild since the start, which is going back into last year. Let's have some highlights. Don't spoil last Sunday, because hopefully anybody watching saw it, but let's have the highlights, Louis.
So what I thought would be nice is that I'll just have a brief, George, basically overview of how the guild started, because I think we've talked about it in passing, but we haven't really gone into detail about why we did it. I think we're all a little bit from different angles. We all started it for different reasons, which is quite nice in its own way. But I'll pass it over to George. He's going to tell us from his point of view about certainly like how it started, how it came to be, and yeah. So I'll pass over to George now.
Perfect.
Yeah, all right. So from my point of view, so in my job we work very hard, and during the lockdown we had quite a lot of spare time on our hands. So me and my friends decided that we would kind of get into Warhammer, as it was something to pass the time and it turned out to be a lot more, because I realized that painting was very therapeutic for my job, as well as I knew Louis did Warhammer. So when I messaged him telling him I did Warhammer, so we got together and we started speaking about it. And he told me about David. So when we formed the group, we didn't have a name, we didn't have a guild or anything like that. We just completely winged it, if you know what I mean. We just sent photos to each other, and we were just giving each other compliments constantly, even though my painting's really bad. And then one of us, I think it was Louis, that suggested we start an Instagram account. And I personally thought it was only going to be small, because I know how hard it is to get into the industry of Instagram or YouTube, stuff like that. Hats off to Mike, but hats off to Simon, by the way. He's doing really well. Yeah, so we started that, and I didn't expect it to get this big, as it is a community, and it is to show off everyone's models and to see what they're proud of, and to get it's really good. I'm glad how far it's came, to be fair.
Well, thanks a lot for that, George. I don't know if he can hear me, so I'm gonna have to. Louis, can you thank George for me? That was great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks very much, George. That was really, really good. I am actually on Instagram as well. I'm just doing 2 streams at once, so I'm just like trying to direct people to here.
Showing off.
The quality is so much better on here. It's just fantastic. Yeah, no. So what I wanted to also address is like, what was your highlight for the last 6 months? I'll start with David. What's been the highlight for the last 6 months we've been on Instagram? Predominantly it's been Instagram. Even before then, maybe not. It might have been before we even got to Instagram. What has been the sort of moment you actually went, yeah, this is actually getting quite legit now?
So with Warhammer40k and similar hobbies is all about the community. It's all about the people that you spend your time with, all the people that share your hobby, that share your passion. When I meet Louis, or online, or with George through WhatsApp, we can sit there and talk for hours. So it's all about the people around you. And the thing that got me and say, yeah, this is going to be good, is when like-minded people started joining us online, and started, being one group, as if, we've got people from all over the world, and despite that, it feels like you've been knowing them about 10, 15 years, and you can talk about everything, including Warhammer. And it's the support and the love from the community and giving back what you get from that. I think that's been the game changer for me. That's the big difference it made.
Thanks, Davide. That's a really good sentiment. I think sums up what the guild is about. We talk about this a lot on my streams, on obviously the Nameless Guild. It is about community, and I think that is what Louis is doing a fantastic job as the face and the host of your channel, but also sharing your content. It's not exclusive. Anybody can get involved and be a part of that. So I think that's awesome. I just want to do a quick shout out to some people in the chat. Hey, Mr. Runaway Train, thank you again as always for joining us. Big fan. Johnny 5, I've already posted a message back to him. Big fan of the Nameless. Sorry, mate. I am the super fan, so you can be number 2. There is a slot for number 2. It's open, but you'll never take mine. But thanks for joining us, guys. Louis, highlights from yourself, mate.
Yeah, I would have. Absolutely. I would have to say, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted here because I'm trying to tell everyone to come on to here instead. I would definitely say, I think like how David put it, I really love that I've got to meet other people outside of our circle. I know George from years. We've been friends for almost 10 years now. And, David, I think it's going on 3 at least. So it's
long enough.
Yeah, long enough. Still didn't get me anything for Christmas.
No. Years,
not long enough then.
Not long enough. But what I really do like is what I really do. Like, I don't interrupt you guys. I mean, what's going on? I'm joking. The professionalism here is absolutely diabolical. No, it's what I really love is that we've had wonderful experiences getting to meet new people, like David said. I've got to meet Tzeetch, who is based in Ireland, Daniel, who's based in Australia, and I think he's still serving time down there at the moment. So he's he
doesn't watch my streams. It's fine.
Yeah, and then
he is asleep.
But then also we have wonderful guys like Simon from not only ThisIsWAR40k, which is just absolutely fantastic that we've met him along the way, but also Simon from Artwork of Warhammer. It's been absolutely fantastic to see him, and certainly I think that gave such a big morale boost. That's a terrible way to say it. Morale boost to the guild when someone who had such a huge following, he's going to be hitting 60k, I reckon, in the next month or so. And for him to go, yeah, I'll come on a stream, or yeah, I'll come and speak to you guys. It's just been absolutely fantastic. And it's again, we had Pandora, who unfortunately hasn't been able to take part for a couple of weeks now, but we also have Mills in the States as well, and that just having that like comedic. And what I really think it gets overlooked is the differences in sense of humor, really. And yet all of us have got a very similar reaction to most things. Obviously, UK humour is very gallows sense of humour. Same with most places in the Commonwealth is very gallows humour, quite dark, quite sweary. But then someone put a really good meme up that Daniel has made, because that's what he does best. And we'll all just laugh at it. And I think that's the wonderful thing. It really is a hobby that brings people together, no matter what they are, who they are, what they do, what side of politics they fall under. Warhammer is just an overwhelming good force in the world, and I think it needs to get the recognition that it deserves at this point. But that's for me. That's what I'd say. Definitely building bridges, which is definitely one thing which we, as a guild, incorporate more into the sort of our ethos is the sort of building bridges in the community. That's our little niche, and that's what we hope to carry on, really. But that's me. So I'm going to pass it over to George, who is fantastically just chewing his nails. Thank you, George. Brilliant. Absolutely exquisite.
No,
He
I'm not, actually.
this is wonderful. This is
I'm
genuinely
not-
like
I'm
those
not.
blooper reels, you know, which you see on YouTube. It's just like, you know, the weatherman doesn't realise he's
Yeah,
actually live. Yeah, it's like so.
And no one
yeah.
pre-warned George that post this stream. Obviously, everything's recorded. I go back through it and cut stuff
it
up.
started for me like. Oh,
No, you go, George. You go, mate.
I didn't realise
You go,
I'm-
George. You go.
Sorry. Yeah. So it started for me. Sorry.
Go for it.
What's happening, George? You can hear us? You okay? Keep going, mate. You're doing fine.
So it started for me. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Is he breaking out?
Are we having a bit of a connection issue? It's quite
No, I'm
possible.
here.
No, I think he's just being slow. What's going on, George? Just
Can you hear me?
I think there's a delay.
we can hear you absolutely fine. Can you just
Can you
say
hear
your
me?
highlight for the last 6? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready now. All right. So it started for me when, like I said before, we got into Warhammer, we got the group chat, and then Louis recommended the Instagram account, and I didn't realise how real it'd get. To be fair, I thought it was only going to be a small little thing between us. And when Louis said it would be a community thing, I knew he'd be like, we'd get a couple here and there followers, just for the fact of it. I just can't it got real for me when we got to 1,000 subscribers. I think it was within literally Louis. It was about 2 months, wasn't it? It was just by the hard work of Louis and how much like he was contributing to the community, and it paid off with the amount of followers. I've got it confused now. But that's when it got to me, and that's when I thought to myself, God, I need to buckle down. I need to see some painting now. Even though my painting's absolutely shocking, I absolutely overflow my models. But it's just that's me, and I'm really glad to be part of the guild. It's just something. It's good to show off your paintwork and have loads of people like it, and it's just a nice feeling.
If George can hear me, well said, mate. It is nice to share. It's why we love the hobby. I think that's why Instagram's by far the best platform on the internet. So if you can't hear me, please someone tell him that later.
Yeah, George. Again, Simon's just saying very offensive things. So I shan't. I don't want you to hear that. He's a young man. Simon, have some sympathy, mate. He's working hard. I mean, come on, have some consideration.
He's called
Sorry, George. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry.
I'm very nervous.
Just tell him.
I don't do this very often. Like
You're doing a cracking job, George.
You make me talk to a patient, I'll be fine. But
Yeah.
It's just,
You're doing a cracking job, mate.
Yeah, George hasn't actually highlighted the fact that his job. So he's just saying he just goes into hospitals and talks to patients at this point.
I think to myself, what else can I do apart from do Warhammer? So I literally go to the hospital and I just say to them, "No, I'll talk to your patients for you."
Well, there we go.
man.
There we go. Good man. He's normally so full of words. Look at he's really putting them away tonight, isn't he? He's so nervous, bless him.
I think I have a beer.
Yeah.
Thank you for it.
I'll be brutally honest though. He's hard. I mean, it's Budweiser. I mean, it's got more percent in my Pepsi, but no. So I think it's really good that we can see where we've come from, and at this point we're only looking at 2,000 followers, which is fantastic, which is absolutely wonderful.
Well deserved, every single one of them.
It's been fun, and thanks very much. But it was hard getting there. I mean, I was doing 4.5 hours a day at one point because I was. We managed to get this sort of fellowship. I don't like saying the fan base. It's not a fan base. It's a community. So we were getting the fellowship. Cult. Better word. Cult. So it was, it was really about not just sending likes. And I say this all the time. It's not about sending likes or just spamming the discover me or discover people page and just going follow. It is a case of, oh, that's a really nice color you've got on that orc, or that's a really nice basing element you've got going on there. And so it really is a case of engaging is what got us to 1,000, and engaging again got us to 2,000. It wasn't overnight. I mean, some people literally just do one photo and you know, they got 10,000 followers in a day. So that's just not how we work. And to be honest, it was sort of lose sight of what we actually do as a hobby and as a community. If people felt like they couldn't
work hard.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the nicest thing I get is random people message me and just saying hello and like, oh, I've been watching the stream. Oh, could you give me some advice on this, that, or whatever? And I think it's wonderful. And I will always respond to every single one. Because again,
like,
I
can't say for myself that I think that I can help people better because like I'm not the best, but you guys are very much experienced.
Actually,
so
I disagree, George.
disagree.
I'm going to disagree with George because I've already asked him for help this week.
Yeah.
I've asked him, how did you do that? What paints did you use? So I think everybody's got some experience to share, and that's the beauty of this hobby, because there's people that have been in it for 40 years and they're still learning. There's people like me who've come back in the last 12 months. I don't think it's that black and white. Don't say that, George. You've already helped me out this week. I'm going to do some power swords in the next couple of weeks, thanks to you. Big shout out. Big Mike is in the chat. I just wanted to make sure.
Big Mike, thanks for joining.
Tabletop Bignatics, please go follow him.
Absolutely. I think it's one of those things. I completely agree. Apart from the point where you brought up his mum, Simon, I thought that was a bit out of order, but I think I think it's straight. No, like so what Simon did say for the only person in this whole setup who can't hear is George, which just makes me it's so bizarre. But basically saying, no, you did help Simon earlier this week about what paints you're using for your Ragnar and stuff. So that's absolute horse manure, mate. So I think when it comes down to it, anyone with any experience, even if they've only been in a couple of weeks, this is why it is valid, and this is why I actively sort out, and it's quite nerve-wracking for me because I have to message these people every time and say,
you love it. Loving it.
He's very good at it. He's very good at it.
I would say though, me offering people to come on Tea Talks and Tanks is only about 60% successful. A lot of people don't even respond. You know, they might have like 20 followers, but really nice content, and I just love what they're doing. And I was
do you know, I get guessed, Louis. I find Instagrammers that have got such a huge ego that the thought of them not being on the. No, I'm joking.
Oh, absolutely. George, Simon said a really funny joke. It was a really funny joke.
He's gonna watch this back.
What was the joke? Come on. No, I can't hear him.
Yeah, it was relating to your skincare products, mate. So it's just. I'm joking. George, how many? George, pick a bottle and stick with it. I swear you're not even drinking much tonight, but you've got like 3 or 4 bottles on at once.
That's liquid courage, mate. That's liquid courage.
Is liquid courage. Oh my gosh, George. Put him away. That's not from tonight.
Okay, I might get banned from Twitch now because they.
Yeah. So what I want to say is, if you don't mind me, no, never mind.
Yeah, go for it.
No, go on, George. Go on.
Right. So what I just want to say is, I know how quite a few people can get very disheartened when it gets to the point of painting, because people look at their models and go, I don't like that. It looks absolutely horrible. But all it takes is to be put on the guild, like a community like us, and someone could. All it takes is one little comment saying "nice job." And I know Louis hates me for talking about comments because I love comments, but Louis gives me quite a lot, and it just
compliments. You mean compliments? Compliments.
Yeah. Sorry, compliments. Yeah, it does make me want to paint. It makes me want to paint more because of the fact you're getting encouraged and you're getting told your work's really good, and that's why a guild like us is very good with the community, because we are having loads of people comment on posts, giving them compliments constantly about their artwork.
Yeah, absolutely.
I totally agree. It drives me mad that you can't hear me agreeing with him.
And I think it's one thing that we want to certainly look into. And I think George is right. What we're going to be doing in the near future is have people. We do want to get to the stage of being seen as guys who are, you know, promoting other people's stuff just to get piggyback it, if you know what I mean. You see that quite often.
Yeah,
You know, you see a lot of guys, they repost amazing work. People will follow them, not realizing actually no, they're not the person who is doing it, because at the very bottom they just see a very you know, credit.
Hate that.
Yeah, and so that's something we definitely want to keep away from. We definitely do want to keep away from that.
Yeah,
but
so,
you do share content, you do promote. It's part of the guild ethos, for want of a better word. But yeah, not for the sake of it, for the love of the hobby, which I think is important.
Absolutely. And also I saw something which was really patronizing. It's to someone who I don't think we no longer follow us. It's one of those things where, like with Instagram, you just have to you know, you sort of you've got to be a bit of a social butterfly. If someone is a little bit toxic, it's sometimes just a little bit, you know, it's not, we're not in it for the politics. We're not in it to, you know, if they do a very explicitly political post, that's not what we're into, you know. So we don't, you know, we're not going to carry on that engagement there, because, you know, 40k is literally the escape. You know, we're not here to promote our own political agenda in any way, shape, or form using
we
the
talk
platform.
about politics in 40k.
Yes,
40K
like
politics.
40k politics, absolutely. And so for us, I just remember seeing this one post in which it said, I thought it would be good to promote one of the smaller Instagrammers. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, that's really kind, you know. And this was a person who had like 500 followers at the point. I think we had about 1k. And they promoted someone who had 496 followers, you know, but they called them smaller. And I was like, wait, hold on.
That's not small in Instagram terms.
But what that does is that the followers of that person goes, oh, that's quite kind of that person. And so that those 400 odd potential followers will then migrate. And so that was a very, I saw that from a mile away. I thought that was a very slimy little tactic. And I didn't think highly of that. So, but if anyone has, you know, has got anything they want to post, you know, and they go, Louis, George or David, you know, I've just done this. Can you, you know, can you put it in the story? And I don't have a problem with that. It's when people send us generic, and I'm sure you get this as well, Simon. It's when people send us generic emails, messages going, can you just follow, like, subscribe, promote me. And we're like,
I've had a few. Yeah, I'm
not what we do.
I'm not at the guild level yet, I don't think. But yeah, I've had a few where it's for the sake of it. Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean.
And you just feel a little bit like, you know, at least buy us dinner first. Do you know what I mean? It's just a little bit. It's a bit unfortunate, but I can't put into words how privileged we are that people, you know, open up to us and they say, you know, we really appreciate the streams, or we really appreciate the models, or the you know, content, because we do stream without fail as best as we can twice a week at the very least. That's not including random streams. Yeah, that's not including the streams that we do, like the ad hoc streams. I have no idea what we call them. Maybe we'll have a name for these sort of just like random guild streams. But, you know, I was up till, I think it was 3 o'clock this morning with, I think, Simon, George, Big Mike, the guys from the Bolt Rifles, and it was just wonderful. And
awesome.
who else? Chewy from DZTV. Drop Zone TV.
DZ. They say it the American way.
As well. I thought it was funny on the stream the other day.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry?
Go on, carry on.
I thought it was funny on that 12-hour stream the other day when I was in there for an hour and people were saying, "Who's Ragnar?"
Yeah.
Who's Ragnar? It's like because I wasn't involved that much, to the point where I was only in the first couple of posts, and I was only.
So we have internal challenges for those wondering why we're all laughing.
Yeah. So I was only including the first couple of posts, and I wouldn't do that much, but I'm starting to get into it a bit more now. I'm starting to get like involved in the guild more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, I'm glad George brought that up, actually, because after the few negative vibes from, we were talking about the politics of 40k. Let's talk about last Sunday, right? Because I think
amazing.
This is one of the most incredible achievements, but both yourself, Louis, as an individual, but also doing this for the guild. But more importantly, the reason you did it is that last Sunday, the Nameless Guild did a 12-hour challenge, or 12 and a half hours, I think, by the time you finally got through it, to very successfully raise a lot of money to help little Depeche, who's a 7-month-old Nepalese boy who's already fought through pneumonia and COVID. But given what's going on in the world at the moment, his parents don't have the benefit of a national health service. It's all paid for treatment. And because of our intervention, I say our because I was privileged to be a guest of that show.
Absolutely.
In fact, Louis, please tell me about it, because I don't want to spoil the big reveal of how much money you raised, because it's incredible. So please.
Do you know what? I think what I'll do is I'll actually go, if you don't mind, I'll just try. Obviously, I can't do a split screen, unfortunately.
You can share your screen, Louis. There is a button for that. So if you bring
I
up
think I can. Your screen? Is this right? Okay. Share. Oh,
if you
there
click
we go.
Just don't show them your desktop image, Louis.
Yeah. Okay.
So, right. Public.
Let's bring in your screen, and there we go.
What's he saying?
So I'm just going to send you some.
Oh, I don't want to share that, do I? You need to share the thing you want to show. Don't want to show Inception.
While he's just talking
right.
There we go. There we go.
Can I just ask for an opinion?
Sorry.
Yeah, hold on.
So what's the opinion of people in the people? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Guys, hold on.
No, we're showing Louis. Louis sharing his
Am I
screen.
getting docked?
No, you're sharing your
not loading up.
screen.
It's not loading up, unfortunately, mate. Unfortunately. Sorry. No, we'll knock it on the head. Sorry about that, guys. So I will revert back if that's okay. How do I stop sharing? There we go.
Right at the top of the screen.
Yeah. Oh, did I? Is it back to normal now?
Yeah, we're all back to normal.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. For some reason that it did not like to do that. So I'll just have a look now. But yeah, so obviously we did raise quite a lot. We blew past our 150. I generally thought we'd raise 70 quid, and I might top it up to 100 with myself, and we smashed that in the first hour. I think it was. We had a lot of donations from the Nepali community who did hear about it, which is really nice. But I'll be honest, I was really pleased by the fact that I think it was 90% came from the Warhammer community, and it was just absolutely wonderful. I have no idea. Instagram seems to be not working for me at the moment. So I'm not going to get doxxed by the information I got up there, did I? I didn't see anything. I'm just making sure that
I did share some screen.
It'll be all right.
I think you'll be all right.
I'll be honest. This is my safe laptop. So this is like safe to work laptop. So there won't be anything weird on it. I promise you.
Next time, don't share your screen until you know what you're sharing.
Can I just ask?
I knew what I was sharing. It's fine. It's no bother. It's absolutely fine.
What's everyone's opinion on Vallejo paints?
Oh, I don't do Vallejo.
Does anyone?
No.
I've been looking at like their starter sets because I'm wondering if they flow easier than the Citadel paints, because I know sometimes that they can be very, if you know what I mean, clumpy and very awkward to use. Like even like this is one of the main ones.
Sorry, George.
Uriel Yellow is absolutely horrible to use.
Yes, it is absolutely horrible to use.
Yeah.
But that's yellows. Sorry, Louis, I've got it now. I don't know.
Okay.
But this.
Sorry, George. There we go. So yeah, we raised, and I would say a staggering £1,248. Yeah, we had a few late contributors, which was really, really sweet. So at the very top, you'll see people who I know. Sabrina's absolutely lovely. And actually, those people are from my street. This is such a sweet community.
Oh, wow.
So I had people donate from my street as well. So yeah, it was really, really nice. And I think it's one of those things. It was just so touching that we were able to raise this money. It's going to be going off shortly. Unfortunately, Western Union is a nightmare and wants to charge a staggering amount to transfer it. But again, the majority of the money will go there, and that's.
Well, you've cut out a lot of the average middleman when it comes to charity donations. Yeah. This is getting direct to the country.
It was so good. Like we were talking with Louis about the actual experience, the actual both the planning before the stream, the 12-hour stream, and then during and after. I was mind blown and found myself speechless, which is quite tricky to happen, about the love and the support that the community that these special individuals put together on for little Deepesh. So it was very humbling and very very nice.
One thing I will say though is always it's a it was my bad, and I really appreciate George for this. Oh, that's cool. So all I saw and I really appreciate George, because George actually allowed me to actually have a bathroom break, and actually get I think I quickly made a cut or something. No, yeah, hey George, that's why.
No, it was good.
I knew that I could rely on George to sort of just let me relax a bit, and I think it was the late part of the day, and it was so needed, and so it was wonderful to rely on the guys who I get on with so closely, and so yeah, it was just it was a fantastic, wonderful experience, and like I said to Orky from Let's Make It Orky the other day, it's very rare to do something, to experience something brand spanking new as a challenge in the confines of your hobby table. Do you know what I mean? It was absolutely wonderful just being able to do something that, we all spend quite a few hours on the tabletop, but we don't spend 12 hours. And so I generally think in the future, I've already thought of our next challenge, which will be to scale a mountain and play Kill Team. And so, that's what I want to do. That's what I want. It'll only be Penafan and George. We know Penafan surely, and that is an absolute lightweight on the mountain.
I think Big Mike wants to host that actually.
Well, that'd be fantastic. Yeah,
I don't know if there's a lag or anything, but if that's in response to what you've just said, yeah, Big Mike definitely. That's the man. Oh, Kill Team. It says Kill Team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I just say one quick thing, interjecting, just to
sure.
Louis and myself have a banner behind our heads with the Nameless Guild and the Kitbash Klinik. Is the wrong way around, because the way we normally stream, so it's not that we can't spell.
Yeah,
so you just wanted to slag off my stream and say it's because I've got mirrored reflections. It's all my fault. Thanks for that, David.
No. You are such an example to myself, because professional to the point, punctual. So, and I haven't had the chance to think about it, and as a streamer, I should be able to think it through. So
yeah,
I now owe him a fiver for that compliment.
I just roll with it. I just generally roll with it. I love it.
No.
But, right, moving on sharply. Thank you very much for the support we got, and obviously thank you ever so much for everyone who contributed.
Good event.
Shout out to Big Mike as well,
Big shout out,
and his wonderful wife for helping us out, and it was absolutely so kind of them. So thank you ever so much. Send a follow, send a like, do what you got to do to send some love their way. They were absolutely fantastic. Moving on, because I realise that it's 8:50 now, so we actually already spent over 40 minutes. But in regards to where we want to see the guild in the next 6 months to 12 months, what do you want to see happen? One thing I will say is that we're not worried about followship. We're not worried about making 5k, 8k, 10k. That's not really on the agenda. If that comes, it comes, and I'm happy. But how do you think we could best serve the community in the coming months? I'll pass it over to George and see if he's got any ideas. George.
Hello.
Sorry. Sorry, George. Did I not give you the screen? He wants the big screen. Sorry.
George.
You know that. Yeah. So basically, in my opinion, from looking at how people got big, YouTubers, Instagrammers, stuff like that, the only thing we can do with Instagram is keep going.
Yeah.
Whereas when it comes to Twitch or YouTube, we could start a YouTube account, but because of lockdown and stuff like that at the minute, we can't really expand to the point where we can play games and stuff like that. Because Louis and David live quite near to each other, whereas I live in a different location. So when all this is blown over, once a month, I was thinking we could meet up and we could just play a game and post it on YouTube. It would be like a battle report. It would be quite interesting for the viewers to see, and it would be something they can view instead of just looking at pictures. Or when it comes to Twitch, so I know Twitch is quite an easy platform to stream on compared to Instagram. And it's the same with so I've got a VR virtual reality headset, and you can Twitch stream VR, and there's a game called Battle Sister.
Yeah. Oh, have we lost him?
I'm going to minimize it. I'm sorry, George. You've definitely frozen on me.
There are warp signs. Yeah, no, it's frozen on me too.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, he's hang on.
And he's gone. Now he's back.
He's back in. He's back in. Sorry, we lost you just as you froze on that bit.
Is anyone else getting feedback issues from Simon? Or is it just me?
I'm so sorry about that.
Do I sound like an ad mech?
It's fine. It's fine. I think it's sorted itself
Right
out.
now you do.
The
Right
hotel
now you do.
Wi-Fi cut out while I was speaking.
Oh, that's okay. Bless him.
Oh,
You were telling us about VR, George.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
What did I get up to?
We had literally
Stream
streaming VR, mate.
Okay, so streaming VR. So you can stream on your VR, and there's the game Battle Sister, which is about Adeptus Sororitas, and it is honestly one of the best experiences in Warhammer that I've ever experienced. And they've got a multiplayer version coming out, so you can play with 2 to 4 players.
Yeah, I noticed that. Sororitas. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say Sororitas. I meant
Sororitas.
Yeah.
Or as close as you can. Just remember it's TAS at the end. Say it as you like. Tomato, tomato, potato.
Sororitas.
Perfect.
Nice.
Mamma mia.
It did it perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So when
I'll summarize. Streaming Twitch, yes. Streaming Twitch. Streaming the.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, George. I don't know if you can hear me again now this time, but you're already on Twitch right now, mate.
Yeah.
If that's a small consolation. I don't know. I can't believe the audio's failing us again. Don't do what I do and go for the cheap option.
Always work the best.
Well,
yeah,
I think
I like what George was saying though, Louis, because it's always
Absolutely.
been in your plans to do a little bit more of the video content, and totally agree that Instagram isn't necessarily the best place, although you are proving that to be absolute rubbish, because your streams are incredible. They are well followed. Like I said earlier, not underestimating one of the best 40k hosts on the internet right now. You're proving that I'm not trying to inflate his ego. I've already got him on the channel. There's nothing more for me to gain. But they are, I mean, and they're lifesavers as well, because you do them in the afternoons and stuff when I'm doing the most boring part of work. I think that's important. But no, you've always had plans to do some form of battle report or visual stuff, and although the guild's not quite yet on to those video based channels, I'm going to help the guild do whatever's necessary to get you on something, because there's not enough content of it. I would love it. Sadly, we've lost Big Mike from the chat because he's doing his stream.
Okay.
How dare he stream while I'm doing it? I'm joking.
Crazy. But no, going back to what George was saying, because George can't hear any of this, so I wanted to keep in the loop. But I think George is absolutely right. I think it'd be absolutely awesome to do some more sort of streaming in that side of things. It's a bit diversifying, but keeping to the, and I think George would agree with me, keeping to the umbrella of Warhammer. I don't know if that's what you're going after, George, if that's what you're thinking. But definitely doing some streams would be just so fun, because
that's exactly what I meant. That's why I said like battle.
So that's going in my notebook. It's going down. It's going down. It's going. But no, I think it would be so much more fun. And I really want to get to the situation where I'm screaming my head off because some alien or Xenos is coming after me.
No, that's the best thing about it.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
You've got a Black Templar following you. And it was the funniest thing he said to me. He was like, "Purge the heretics," and it was the best thing ever.
Oh, I can't wait.
I can't even describe it.
I can't wait. So
And you're just there
definitely
with a power
something.
sword or a cave sword,
Yeah.
and you're just there like slashing away at these heretics. It's
I think it's definitely something we're going to be looking at, and this is obviously why we have these conclaves, is because it's where like the creative, I hate the term creative juices flow, but it's really true. You know, it's just like George hasn't said, you know, George has brought that up in conversation about the thing, but not like, oh, we could actually do it on stream, we could do it on, you know, we could stream it to other platforms. I'm like, yeah, that sounds absolutely boss. And also we can do that from you know, social distancing. You know, we're not doing it, and I think the big problem is that even though David is literally, I could throw a rock and probably hit his house. We're in tier 4, and sorry, we're in lockdown, and we are a tier 4 priority county here in Reading. We're just outside of London, and we're basically the tester for the rest of the UK. If we go into tier 4, London normally follows. So, and we're the first one to go into it. We're always the first one to go into any like escalation.
Yeah.
So, in all likelihood, I'm more likely to do. I'm just as likely to do something with George in person than I am with David. So we need to think about how to do social distance games. I've seen on Twitch guys who someone, you know, they have a dice box in their room, and they're playing Warcry, or they're playing a whole match with someone long distance, and they roll and they tell that person it's not the best, but it's still, you know, it's still playing the game. And I think it'd be absolutely wonderful to do that. And I know it happens on Twitch, but also diversifying. We're not putting ourselves in just this little niche, but, you know, doing these streams with George and you know, I think that sounds absolutely awesome. Maybe doing kill team, socially distanced kill team with David and with Tzeetch or Daniel, and just opening it up. And yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm freaking out right now because I'm watching Big Mike, you know, Tabletop Fignatics, who is actually streaming this stream on his channel. So it's
Oh,
like
no way. Oh, that's
Nice one, Big Mike. Thanks, bro.
yeah, thanks very much.
Fignatics, watch him. Sorry,
That's
yeah, no,
absolutely
I want to get
awesome.
involved in that. I think that's a great idea to get a bit of content. That you have that luxury of being able to use the fact that we've got this technology now to create that, and I'll have Kill Team.
Exactly. And I think George is absolutely right. Stay on as we are with Instagram. Keep plowing away at it, because unfortunately, what you do see is a lot of people migrate to different platforms, and I don't want to see that. I want to see, you know, the guild being established on Instagram for as long as Instagram's a platform, as far as I'm concerned. And so long as it's relevant, we'll be there. And that's what I want to see, and that's what you know, because again, I would much rather have, you know, God willing, one day, you know, 10,000 followers maybe, but people who actually follow actively what we do, rather than you know 20,000 dead accounts. You know, just, you know, we're not doing it for the account number. We're doing it for interaction and engagement. We're not doing it for the bots. We're not doing it for the bots.
And I think one of the things that we can look at for the next 6 months, and I'd like to touch a couple of comments that were made from our the people following us. The guilds is not, I mean, we're not expanding in terms of people in the guild, so it's not that at the moment there are 3 founding fathers, or 2 founding fathers and a founding brother, George, sorry.
No founding members. We're the founding members. We'll leave it at that.
Members. Okay.
We're founding members.
So if you know the number of people on the community, that's our family. There are a selected number of people in the actual guild, but that is mostly an organizational strategy. So not a strategy, we're people that we make decisions with, people that, you know, constantly give images and ideas to post on the page. So it's not that we want to get to 1,000 members of the guild, you do a monthly subscription, none of that. So we want to keep the community intact.
Yeah.
You know, 2,000 followers is awesome. 2001 is amazing. 2002, amazing. So we're not here for the numbers. We're not here to make money out of it. We might get some merchandise at some point, but
we'll come on to that in a second.
We're here to create the group. You know, it's not. So for those of you valiant people that said, "Can I join the guild?" The answer is no. Not because we don't want you in, but because as long as you're in the community, you're
part of the guild.
You're active. You're active constantly and being part of the guild, showing that you want to be part of the guild.
Well, the whole point is that we have content contributors. That's the only difference. That's it.
Yeah,
we have content contributors, which are guys from the guild, but everyone else is are certainly there to be part of the community. The guild is a community. It's not a club. That's the biggest thing, and the biggest difference to other organisations I've seen is that we're not a club, we're a community. So if we'll go on to the thing about merchandise in a minute, and I do actually have our first tiny little piece, which is wrong. It's wrong.
Have you got it? But you've got something though. Sorry, gents, I'm getting the first hoodie. I've made it perfectly clear.
It's a lovely mask, right? But it is wrong. And so it's meant to be black, but it's actually really nice quality.
It is meant to be black.
So they're sending me a brand new one. So the thing is, as you can see, the logo is down here, which again, we're testing it out to see where it's best. I did ask my fiance what she feels about it, and she went, "Well, it would just look like you've had your nose broken." So, because obviously, a blood red is called blood candle stamps. They're blood candle stamps, or wax seals, as we call them, purity seals, but they're blood candles essentially. That's the actual classical term for them. And so we can't put them somewhere where it's, but when it's black. But also, we don't want it to be too obvious. We're not, it's not a brand; it's a sigil. So, it's not a case of. And I think George said, just imagine the day you go outside and someone's wearing, a Nameless Guild mask. I'd be like, that is it. And so, like we said, we're not doing this for profit. Now, we were on the stream last night talking about setting up, because I've had a few people going, "Oh, you should get a Patreon account and everything." And I've been umming. Obviously, I'm out of work because of restructuring. So, who's tapping? I can hear someone tapping on some mechanical keyboard. Is that you, David? I'm looking at you. You look engaged in something.
No,
that's crazy. I'm going mental. Sorry, guys.
I'm not typing, but
but no. Someone did say about potentially going on Patreon, and I was like, well, maybe. And me and George were talking at length about it, and George was being very supportive and understanding. But I've been umming and ahhing about it. We didn't set this up for any monetary gain. When we do have stuff, when we have merchandise, such as this is, especially the masks, they're going to be at cost. It's not going to be any profit on it. So, because I'd love to see people just, taking photos of them wearing guild.
I said this yesterday. It's the point of you work very hard for the guild. You work very hard for the guild to the point where you're working, like you said before, at least like 4.5 hours a day, or streaming 12 hours. It's a hard job. I know you're doing it for charity. It's a hard job, especially when you're not like not making any money out of it, because like you said, you're not in work because of like structure.
Yeah.
But I feel like you should because of like people enjoy the content, people enjoy the way that you produce the posts.
I mean, I would say, building on what George is saying and to what me and you, Louis, discussed, if we were to go for a Patreon account or things, we could use it for kit to do like a proper battlefield when we record our battels.
To
set up for reinvest for the guild. So it's not we'll go through phases, I'm sure. I know good things happen to good people, so I'm sure, Louis, great opportunities are around the corner for you.
It's one of those things where it's one of those things where I think it's obviously anything to do with the Instagram, anything to do with merch, where there's going to be absolutely no profit interest in that whatsoever. Sorry, did I catch myself or something?
Sorry, and I hope there is some profit there, because just to drop that one in, ThisIsWar does have a web shop, so if anybody's interested, I will cut that one out.
But no, it's a case of we want people to feel inclusive. We want people to feel included. They want people to feel engaged in the community, and that's our little way of doing that. And definitely, if someone sees it and goes, "Oh, it's a bit pricey," and then they realize, well, actually, no, it's actually at cost, they might feel more likely to do it. Maybe in future we'll do it for charity. In regards to, I think it's one of those things where a lot of content creators, they get to the stage where I'm not saying we all are, but especially me, but if it's a case of I'm putting more hours in doing this than I am doing anything else, then obviously when it comes to Twitch, if I'm doing a 5 hour Twitch stream and everything, it goes into a different realm of things. That's why I'm trying not to do those things. That's why I'm trying to make it so that the person is, but if it gets to the point where
that's
that
what
we can.
I don't mean it like you're going to make loads of money off Patreon. I mean, you'll do it at a fair price, but it'll be stuff that you can put in your pocket, and it'll be stuff that you can get shopping at the end of the week, or stuff to supply you, stuff that you need.
It's something that we can, it's all up for grabs, and it's all so down the road. I mean, if I think we were talking with Louis the other day, if in 5 years we all make a living out of it, bring it. But it's not in the plans. It's not a project. We're not aiming towards that. We're enjoying the ride. I mean, I've been this year is 22 years. I'm in the hobby, with ups and downs, and times is more frequently. And I've been loving it since day one. I remember when I got my second edition box. That was Dark Templars and Dark Elders, Black Templars and Dark Elders, and it was amazing. And if they told me that in 22 years you're going to have a community of 2,000 plus people online, bring it. If we remain like this is good. If we make 10p a month from it, it's good. It's not going to change the love that I have for the game. So I think that's the key. That's what I think sets us apart from some other people.
I know a lot of people they set out to get I want to be the next Chapter Master of Alric. I want to be the next I don't know.
Be yourself.
Midwinter minis,
midwinter minis and stuff. It's just like it's a different ball game, and certainly we're not going for the community side of things. And even so, like we say, we're umming and ahhing about it, but I don't ever foresee it's going to happen because like David said, if we're 5 years down the road and we're established as something something different, absolutely, I would love that. I would love that. But I was talking to my fiance today about all this sort of stuff, and we want to like just make sure that everything goes back into the hobby. But but I also have to look after myself in the regards to if it gets to the stage where I am having to spend too much time creating content, as they say, and I'm not it's on a volunteer basis, then I just have to scale back, and I think people understand because,
I'm glad you said that, Louis. So I'm glad you said that. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I think you've made a really valuable point there. We briefly touched on this before the stream started, that you and I know that work goes into these streams. Like they are great fun. We do it as a relief from day-to-day stuff, but we have to put work in to make this happen. I'm going to be taking a short break from streaming, like a couple of weeks max, but I'm glad you pointed that out, because it is fun. And it's great to have those aspirations that you want to build a channel. And certainly what the guild's done is incredible. But that's because you approached it in, this is a community, a hobby we love. We're not in it for money. That's why I think you've had the success. So for anybody watching that's thinking, I want to do the same, get 2,000 followers, get a Patreon, don't think that this is something that is completely without the effort involved. And Louis, I know you put way more in than I do.
I don't know about that. But
I think you do, honestly. But at least the output that you get, like last Sunday, that 12 hours is a monstrous thing to do. On top of some of your guests were on my show the night before as well, and we were like, "Oh, this is hard work." We streamed last night, we streamed today. None of us did the 12 hours you did. But that was an incredible worthy cause. I'm incredibly proud that we were all involved in that. So well done.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's not an easy thing. Don't think that you can just start streaming and posting pictures on Instagram and you're going to make millions.
Exactly. And I think that's the point David and George is getting on, is that a lot of people, they think it can be done, and it can be done. But if you were to look at Midwinter Minis and how he started, he was doing a lot of work on top of his full-time job. And I worked full-time and did this, and it worked well. Obviously, when I'm doing training to my ordination stuff, I'm a little bit, we're hesitant, to hopefully it will still go well. And again, we're not streaming every day because our demand isn't there. The demand to stream every day, people aren't going, we need more streams, and it's really nice that people look forward to the 2 that we do, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
if I did 4 a week, you would oversaturate and people would just sort of lose interest. And so it's a really tight line. And so the best advice I'd give for anyone who's just starting, like we did 6 months ago, I'm not saying we've made it. We haven't made it because we're not trying to make it. If that makes any sense, it made sense in my head. We're not trying to make it. We are just literally here to, and as David said, if we do set up a Patreon in the next couple months, it will be to reinvest into buying cameras for Twitch, buying mats from Urban Mats, buying scenery for whatever.
Or certain like techniques that we found that helped us when we first started to like progress us to go from ordinary to above battle ready standard. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You need a Discord. If I'm going to be honest, you need a Discord because I know there are members of the guild and fans of the guild that are crying out for a space to have the conversations that Instagram isn't great for, like the post-stream chats that we get involved in. You should definitely do a Discord, and then that will nicely fit in with any future plans for a Patreon because Discord free, build your community, create that space for chat, for talk about painting. If you're not part of the DZTV Patreon or membership, you won't understand, but they have an incredible community, and it's not a paid for platform. I mean, I posted about the TTC 12 hour in that channel, and lots of people liked it. So fingers crossed that they were part of the people that got involved and
no
did
doubt.
You should start with that because you have like
Discord channel. That we barely use, but there is a Nameless Guild channel, so we can.
There is, I set it up as a preliminary, but I don't know Discord very well, so I'm actually gonna. So it's there, but I will sort it out this week. That's this week's.
That should have been a highlight for the future because I know Artwork of Warhammer, that amazing bloke Simon, fantastic name.
He's harbouring us. He's the harbouring.
He is harbouring the guild right now, which I think is incredible. But he's also one of the advocates for it. So let's talk to Simon. Let's get 2 Simons on the job to help Louis get the Discord going.
Absolutely.
That's the first point.
I can't hear any of this.
Please tell
sorry, George.
And
Also, I think if we do set up, the first thing we've got to do with our Patreon millions that we make from Patreon is to buy George something that actually supports live streaming. That would be fun, wouldn't it, guys? That'd be fun.
If we could have everybody, because it worked earlier. As soon as we went live, it cut out. So I'm sorry. Everybody came for George.
Voice. You can't have that, can you?
But I will say though, this is the other thing which you have to, nothing goes right. Nothing goes right. And George will know the little Napoleon quote. Was it battle plans only survive as long as the first contact with the enemy? Or whatever. It sounds better in French. But that's what happens. Some days you're like,
no, I can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. And all our hands came up straight away. I don't think that's politically correct.
That's Italian.
That's Italian.
That's Italian for I want to fight, or Indian is I want some food. That's a joke I learned from a comic.
You're a very keen enthusiast of the linguistics.
Yeah. But no, that's so. I definitely would say so. This is why we have streams like this. Is a case of it's taken us out of the Instagram bubble to an extent, and we don't have to. If that makes sense. And it's a lovely different. It's a different platform, if I can say that, because it's it's not just on your phone. It is actually on this, which is just really really nice. So just running through very very quickly. George did have a point of saying. He's been given 100 quid. I'm not saying where because it's quite cute, but he's been given 100 quid to. Can George still hear us though?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That's fine. It's fine. Just literally nothing. No recognition for what I'm saying. But he's been given 100 quid, and he asked, "What do you think we should buy with that, or what we would buy with that 100 quid?" Is that right? What we would buy with 100 quid?
I think. Because you always get that 10, 15, 30 quid available at some point, but you never get, or very seldom you get 100 quid in one go. So I would go for something big. Like, I'm an orc player, I would get...
Could I give
Go on,
you?
then. I will translate it for him.
Okay, hold on to that. The new box set for Kill Team, I believe, is getting released at the end of February. I could be wrong. And that comes with heavy intercessors and some flayed ones. I will be getting it.
Ooh.
Fingers crossed, it'll be about £100. Tell George.
Yeah, he said that he just say get hundreds of grots, just buy hundreds of grots. No, he said he did say the new Kill Team comes out with like really cool like flayed ones, heavy intercessors.
They're not even out yet.
Yeah, that aren't out yet, and also flayed ones.
I said this. So it comes with 5 flayed ones.
Yeah,
I've forgotten it now. It comes with a new. Is it Psychomancer?
Chronomancer, I believe.
Chronomancer.
That's
Simon said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it comes with what are the Space Marines? They're not
heavy intercessors.
Heavy intercessors.
Heavy intercessors, which are.
I've got. There's a bit of a parroting going on
Or
here.
is it Lieutenant?
Heavy intercessors.
I would concur. I would say that would be the way, because you not only have Necrons, you also have Imperial. That would
he's a smart man.
He's a smart man, and so I would wait until that comes out, George, and I'd go down that route. Definitely, I second that, because you'll be one of the few people who have this heavy intercessors.
I've got quite a big Necron army at the minute. Like my Necron army is like 2,500 points. I don't need any more Necrons.
But the heavy intercessors will probably be limited for at least 6 months.
The heavy intercessors. Sorry, the heavy intercessors will be limited for at least probably 6 months before they come out in their own. So you'll have those, and also you'll have the flayed ones. So and I would say that would sound good. And you normally get a bit of scenery, and you get
there's 48 pieces. 48 pieces.
And also, we are going to be doing Kill Team predominantly. You're going to need it already.
So I bought the starter set with someone, and they nicked the rule book, so I can't even read that.
No, see, that's wrong, because me and David, when we bought Indomitus, we put it like literally in writing. I will buy I will get the one from the box set, and I will buy him the rule book.
Yeah, no, we bought it together.
That's the thing, you see, because I paid more out of the two of us. And he's still got the rule book, and he's got.
That's just you being a stop, mate. Yeah, exactly. That just sucks, mate. That's
I don't really mind, to be fair. I just like building the models. I'm equal. I'm steady ground. I don't care.
Well, you're a good lad. You're better than I am.
Good lad. He's a good lad.
Everyone needs. Yeah, he called you. I won't say. I was about to swear then. He said you're a good lad. Genuinely, he said you're a good lad. You're more polite than we would be. Certainly, I wouldn't allow that stuff.
But also, what Simon said about 100 quid worth of grots, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Look, I'm not having it.
Warhammer, you better bring your Grey Knights, all right?
Yeah.
Bring your Grey Knights.
He's bringing his Grey Knights.
100 grots on that table. They'll just fill it up.
That would be so much fun, though.
Yeah,
that's Sunday. Oh, okay. And so let us finish, because we're already over the 9 o'clock. So I think we'll also finish with an update on what we're planning for Warhammer World. David, as concise, because we've got so much going on, as concise as you can do it, mate.
So we're planning a 2 full day at Warhammer World for gaming. I've had the joy and privilege to be there already a few times, so I'm like, I can't praise it enough. We're going to have the first day a 2v2 game, about 2,500 points per player, so 5,000 points per side. 5 sides, sorry. It's going to be me and Young George versus Louis and Saoirse. It's going to be an amazing game. And then on the second day, we're going to have an open invitation Kill Team tournament. And one of the other things that we're going to do, and those of you who've been to Warhammer World will understand, a massive photo shoot of our prize miniatures with the massive sceneries that they have over there. So that's in brief. And a few beers at Bugman's, mostly.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
And we will be saving all our 4G allowance and live streaming as much as we possibly can.
I've got some bad news.
I've got it, so you can stream off me.
Okay, nice.
Sorry, not that I was invited, so I'm quite happy to share this bad news, but you are not allowed to film at Warhammer World.
Oh,
You can take photos, but they do not allow filming, which is why I'm going to build a bunker and put a load of tables in it and find some way to get the guild together to do that. But
yeah.
sorry to break that for you.
I will say that we'll be doing regular updates then throughout the day, and maybe making just like was it stop image stop?
Yeah, do it like a graphic novel, like a comic.
Oh,
you know, like,
oh my gosh!
you could take the photos. Get fat.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
you're the best.
If I get an invite, perhaps I could sit there taking the photos and doing match reports in still format.
It's an open invitation.
Sam,
basically
if you
saying,
put it like that, we'll think about it.
So George, he's basically saying
we'll talk.
We'll be doing a basically not a live stream, but we'll be updating everyone every second of every part of the day.
It will be live,
maybe like the graphic novel style sort of thing. So
Simon could come along if he wanted.
Well, of course he can. It's an open invitation on the Sunday.
I'm just milking it, George.
It's an open invitation.
Don't tell George I'm replacing him.
That's a good point, because I know that.
Why did you say that?
So when he watches it back, he thinks it's true.
You're just not allowed to come with us because we're the cool kids.
Yeah, we're the coolest of the cool. Yeah. But no, with Let's Make It Orky, she's actually doing her own pilgrimage to Warhammer World, which is really cool. Yeah. So, but we just have to make sure that whenever we're there, we have to camp outside because it's first come, first serve. You cannot reserve tables now. I don't know if it's been. I don't know if they've been. They've addressed that in the last 2 years.
I've done enough camping. I've done enough camping in the past 2 years. I am not camping outside.
No, it's not camping outside. We're going to get there like an hour before kickoff in our little.
I'm not basher. I'm not getting a basher.
I thought George was going to offer to rappel down from the ceiling in the middle of the night during a table, and I'll show you. Give me my rations.
With a little reservation note with the Nameless Guild on it, and then just
Mission Impossible.
Absolutely. So. The funny thing is, he actually laughed at your joke, Simon, but I don't think he was laughing at his own joke. He said you were going to rappel from the ceiling and
secure a table.
There we go. Anyway, so just to address what we've already gone over. So obviously the 6 monthly review, we're doing fantastic. I think it's been absolutely wonderful. I don't know if our growth is going to be. It's not. Is it 6 monthly? I don't know.
No, more often now. Now that we know we're good at it.
Yeah. But the thing is, like everyone, and I say this to everyone, Instagram is a platform where it's engagement is the only way in which you get followers. And so, if we would have, I no doubt we would have 2,200, 2,000, maybe 500 by now if I spent like I used to 4.5 hours every day, finding people, liking their stuff, engaging with their painting techniques, engaging with their projects. We might have 2,500, but again, I was just like, but then I'm burning myself out, and then I'm not. We'll be finishing shortly, George. We'll be finishing shortly. But for that unsubtle update,
but no one else can see that, Louis. It's just
I know. So I want to embarrass him. He needs to recharge his vape. But no. So that's where we started. We started very humbly, and I think the best thing the best outcome so far is obviously the fundraiser for Tzeetch, and it's been absolutely wonderful in that regard.
Yeah.
So and in the next 6 months, we will be still focusing on Instagram. We'll be still sticking with our streaming platform. Obviously, we did announce we were going to be doing a new series, but we haven't got around to that. Me and David haven't been able to start that as yet, which would be focusing in on list building and so on and so forth.
Looking forward to that. Oh, has Louis just dropped on us? No, not now, Louis.
Oh, I can't.
What is going on?
Oh,
what is happening?
I can hear you.
Yeah, now we're
yeah, you're back.
Now you're back. Don't touch your computer.
I'm not touching anything.
No, you're touching it.
There we go. But anyway, I think we'll finish it there. We've talked about what our future goals are. We talked about merch. Maybe just quickly, what does everyone want? Hoodies?
Yes,
jumpers like this?
I want the hoodie.
What's a crew neck jumper? Anyone who
Just
I don't know.
just the jumper you're wearing, like that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking that for streams as well. And what color options?
Black.
Go on, Simon. We need your input as well.
Okay, it's got to be a grey one that matches the background for the guild logo for me, because I've obviously got a This Is War logo jumper hoodie. I want to match it. I want to wear it when you join me on a stream. I think it's good, but because I'm going to buy some more of my own actually.
Yeah, because I've always felt that the guild's colours are black, because we wear, like, the idea is like in the in the lore they wear black cows and they're they're nameless, they're silent.
They're, black one. That sounds epic. If you trim out the logo, it'll look amazing on black. Yes, I want a big logo on the front. Guild approves.
Yeah. Guild
I would have the logo on the top and the Nameless Guild on the shoulder, on the back. But I mean, we can have a couple of designs anyway. So
we'll put it to the communities to see which people like most. But
just do both, and they can choose which one they like best.
Yeah, we could do that as well. Of course, there's nothing stopping us doing that. I'm not. I will do, but what I really want to do is all of it. And I will say that if there's a uniform, like if I wear it, everyone has to wear it. So we have to pick a color that we all like. I'm not having it because I've had other things. Someone's been olive green. I don't have a problem with olive green. I love olive green. I think my fiance would be.
Oh, he's faded out again.
It's fine. Anyway, just in case he comes back, I don't know how long we're going to be on this, but I want to thank you, Simon, for the support throughout this months, and together, and it's very nice not only to talk about hobby, to talk about streaming. So in the hobby there are so many levels, and I'm sure there are so many things you can enlighten us with.
Well, and, I'm always here to help, and Louis needs quite a lot of it.
Thank you as well. Sorry, I know I can't hear you. Just like it's really I feel really bad for, like, if I'm talking over you because I just can't hear you. But it's just, honestly,
he doesn't want to hear your voice. That's it. That's why he
don't tell him I muted him.
It's fine. And it's fair that Louis is gone. I think we'll endeavor to help him to carry the guild on his shoulders, because he's happy to invest the time and the resources and things, but as fellow guild members, it's fair that we support him. So it's,
and he's done an amazing job.
He is, and
being the front man, but he's always been clear that it's not just him, which I think is the whole point of the guild. It's a community thing.
And the good thing I like of him is that if he needs support or help or anything, he calls for it. So he's not victimizing himself, or he's a good chat. Just between me and you, and George is here. Oh, Louis,
he's back. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Okay, I won't say it. No, he has a very delicate ego, so when he says he's one of the best Warhammer streamers online, he is going to quote you for the next 16 years.
Yeah, so, I'm sure he will, but then I get free PR because he'll say Simon from ThisIsWAR40k said, and I will stand by that statement.
I'm hearing it.
Because I've desperately, honestly, I'm not joking.
Okay, we'll say goodbye. We'll just quickly say goodbye to George. Thank you, George. Thank you so much for joining us, mate. Your input has been fantastic. Hope you have a wonderful night. Speak to you shortly, mate. Thanks again. Cheers, mate. But yeah, no, so I don't know what it was that you didn't want to tell me, but apologies for this. I think it's one of those things. Everyone knows the woes of doing live streams, video chats. It's what?
It's literally
you
what
were mute and frozen for like 10 seconds.
I could hear you. So since technology is completely failing us tonight, although we've touched on it, Davide was doing an epic job as always of filling in when you disappear off.
Thank you very much, David.
But no, gents, thank you so much again. Hopefully George will watch the video back and realise that I was saying all sorts of horrible things about his mum. Now he's gone.
Now he's
gone.
What can he do? I love it.
But I'm so glad that I got the three of you on to have a proper guild.
It's-
Not that the last one wasn't a proper guild conclave, because it was. It was the guild talking the guild. But
Yeah.
no, I wanted to get the founding members to talk about what started it, what's happened. And I think we'll all agree it's certainly from your own perspective, it's turned into far bigger than you actually imagined it would, which is awesome. And I'm still super fan and intend to be the first person to own a hoodie when the merch comes out.
I'm happy for that.
Yeah, we'll definitely put something out about colours, but I'm thinking black. I'm just to keep it easy.
I
keep
want
it
a black one,
school and sinister.
Yeah, black is good.
Yeah,
I want a grey one that says guild affiliated on the back.
Oh,
that's what I really want, because
that.
that is This Is War40k.
Yeah.
We're guild affiliated. You know,
that's happening, Simon. That's happening. That's going to be.
And then
sick.
I will follow you around and just do your live updates like BBC does sport. So
love it. I love it. Let's
Louis,
do that.
anything to add to finish? Because I want to do a little bit of a sign off.
Yeah, obviously. Thank you so much, everyone. And for those who are going to be seeing this later, thank you for watching the stream. Really appreciate it. Obviously, you've seen our progression for the last 6 months from, I think it was like the end of September. So it's not 6 months, but essentially, you know, we're getting there. And it's just been an absolute wonderful experience working with so many wonderful content creators, hobbyists, whether they're newbies to the hobby, whether they're veterans. It's been an absolute wonderful experience. And I dare say David would agree with that. And so we're looking forward for the next couple of months. Like we said, we're going to stick with our ethos of non-profit. And again, it's you know, and that's what we're going to hold on to. The core of it is going to stay like that. That's not going to change. Like we were discussing, we just got to be sensible. And as Simon brought up, it's a case of you either go full time and the streams are regular and they are, or you have to take a step back and make sure you just don't burn out. The worst case scenario for me would be a burnout scenario because I'm doing too much. That's the only thing. So yeah, exactly. So, and with such an amazing community we have, you know, it's wonderful being able to help others through their burnouts, and I've seen a few of those. So, you know, we're just really looking forward to it. And I'm sure we've got a few charity events coming up in the future, not in the near future, because we don't want to inundate people, because, you know, people, unfortunately, it's one of those, it's a psychological thing. You know, we want the support to go and the amount to go in one big bulk rather than dribs and drabs over the course of 6 months. So thank you ever so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Simon, for hosting.
Thank
you, as always.
Thank you, Louis. Thank you, Simon.
Okay,
right. You take it, Jen. I'm going to kick you off now. So thank you both. Bye. Well, thank you to the Nameless Guild, to Louis, George, and David. That was awesome. I've been trying to do that for so long. As always, few technical difficulties. So I hope, George, I'm going to send you the link, mate, so you can watch this back. But you won't know I've said this until you watched it back. Little bit from This Is War40k. There's not going to be any streams next weekend. Probably not the weekend after. I'm having a short break because, as Louis has just made a great point about, is that it's important to avoid burnout. For me, there's a little bit goes into this. I need to have a bit of time off. But when I come back, there's going to be a new schedule for content. There's going to be some new content. I'm actually working on a collaboration as well, but I'm not spoiling that until the time is right. So thank you, everyone, for watching. So please like, subscribe, and definitely check out the Nameless Guild, the Kitbash Klinik, and Ragnar, the Tzeetch Slayer. So until next time, thank you very much. See you later.